U.S. trade deficit widens sharply in November amid spike in imports. The U.S. trade deficit widened significantly in the month of November, according to a report released by the Commerce Department on Thursday. The report said the trade deficit widened to $80.2 billion in November, from a revised $67.2 billion in October. Economists had expected the deficit to widen to $77.1 billion from the $67.1 billion originally reported for the previous month. The sharp rebound in the trade deficit in November means that net trade is now on track to be a small drag on fourth quarter GDP growth, rather than a small boost, as we had previously assumed, said Michael Pierce, Senior U.S. Economist at Capital Economics. He added, partly as a result, we now expect GDP growth was a slightly less impressive 4.5% annualized in the fourth quarter, down from our previous estimate of 6.5%. The wider than expected trade deficit came as the value of imports spiked by June 4% to $304.4 billion in November, after jumping by 1% to $291.0 billion in October. Imports of industrial supplies and materials, such as crude oil, showed a substantial increase along with imports of consumer goods. Meanwhile, the report showed the value of exports crept up by 0.2% to $244.2 billion in November, after soaring by March 8% to $223.9 billion in October. A sharp increase in exports of services helped offset decreases in exports of capital goods and industrial supplies and materials. The Commerce Department noted the goods deficit widened to $99.0 billion in November, from $83.6 billion in October, while the services surplus increased to $18.8 billion from $16.7 billion. Looking ahead, we expect the trade deficit to remain historically elevated until pandemic worries ease, said Kathy Bostjancic, Chief U.S. Financial Economist at Oxford Economics. The Omicron variant is a key downside risk that threatens to distort trade flows by slowing the global recovery in early 2022. For comments and feedback, contact editorial@artnews.com. Biotech stocks facing FDA decision in January 2022. Biotech stocks facing FDA decision in December 2021. Biotech stocks facing FDA decision in November 2021.